Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's first adventure, one which I have entitled The Great Big Chess Tournament. Before we get into it proper, as always, we are going to take a moment and introduce our characters. So without further ado, first up, we have returning Daakar Greycloak. Daakar, hello.
Hello.
Uh, Daakar, how are you?
I am very good.
Really? What's got you in such a good mood today?
Well, I am once again on an adventure with Hiori, and that makes it a beautiful day.
Oh, well, that's very sweet. Now, Daakar, are you and Hiori close friends? It seems like you two always adventure as a group in Bartholomew's shop.
As of late, it feels like we've become kind of inseparable, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've certainly seen a lot of success. I know you guys have, an excellent mission completion rate here in the Land of DnDTime, although Bartholomew's adventures do tend to be very efficient.
Well, I think that boils down to our excellent teamwork.
Indeed. Well, I hope to see more of that out here in the Land of DnDTime today. And Daakar, I welcome you back. Good to see you again.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but I welcome you back too.
You know what? Thank you very much, Daakar. I appreciate it. And next up, we have returning after it's been a little while since we've seen Elena Darkcloud. I won't say anything else about perhaps your heritage, but Elena, hello.
Hello.
How have you been, Elena? What have you been up to in the Land of DnDTime all this time away? It's great to have you back.
I've been here and there just helping out the community, giving them a place to settle.
Mm-hmm. And any particular community that you're referring to? And I guess also, what are they settling down from?
Well, sometimes, every now and then, a town is destroyed. And of course, there's some people who survive these little mishaps. And so we give them a place at my temple where they can spend the rest of their lives.
Where they can spend the rest of their lives. There's almost something a little bit ominous about that, where they can spend the rest of their lives at the end, and the tone that you said it. Perhaps I'm just imagining things there, Elena.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
there's nothing wrong with it.
Yes, my apologies. What temple is that, by the way? Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to answer if you'd rather your temple remain private.
We don't want to disclose the area so that if they're being hunted, we don't want to let people know where we are.
Of course. You want people's privacy to remain, well, their own. Not
exactly.
Kind of deprive them of that. I understand completely. It's very noble of you, Elena. It's great to have you back. Thanks for playing with us tonight, Elena. Thanks for just adventuring out in the world. So next up, we have Hiori Glasia. Hiori, welcome back to you as well. Also been a while.
I mean, for you maybe, but I feel a little hazy. Maybe like a week ago, I just went on a different adventure or something. I don't know. It's in my past dreams or whatever.
No, I understand completely. I mean, for myself, I know it's been a while since you and I have spoken, but in the Land of DnDTime, of course, you get up to all manner of things. And what have you been up to lately, Hiori?
Getting the dent out of this axe. Seriously, I really riveted this thing in the last adventure. I kind of missed a sheep and it hit it straight into the stone, which is really bad for the edge.
Kind of dulled on the wool, perhaps?
No, I just hit a stone floor.
Oh, you missed the sheep completely and started. Yeah, I guess that would be also very bad for an axe. I know a great smith by the name of Oathgert who you might want to speak to. Probably could take a look at that for you.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Now, that sounded wistful, if anything.
I don't want to talk about it.
Fair enough. I'll ask no more questions. And Hiori, do you think that you'll be able to, well, find success with your now dented axe? Do you think you'll still be able to kind of pull through on this one?
I mean, I've sharpened it enough. It'll be fine.
Good, good. We'd hate to see you out there dull of blade.
Besides, if it comes down to it, I'll just use the other side.
That's an excellent point. I didn't realize you got the two-sided axe. Well, Hiori, welcome back. It is good to see you once more.
Good to see you too.
And last but not least, we have returning Muldock Mutlam. Muldock, hello.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Muldock, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I just killed a Dvořák last week and stuff, and a lich. Nothing big. I've been working on my my poems lately. I like writing poems.
I mean, that sounds like it's pretty big, but if you want to, I mean, Dvořák and a lich sounds, well, incredible, an incredible feat, Muldock. But if you don't want to talk about it, then I'd love to hear some of your poetry, if you'd like to share. Of course, feel no pressure.
It's excellent, awesome, great. So okay, my axe is my buddy. I hold him when I walk. Me and my axe will leave your head outlined in chalk. It's perfect.
Muldock, that was beautiful. It nearly brought a tear to my eye. You truly have a way with words.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. What made you want to suddenly take up this artistic endeavor?
Suddenly? What are you talking about? I've been a carding my whole life. I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, I know that you are an artist by nature, but poetry. I've never heard you do poetry before.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Something about, staring into the eyes of a Dvořák kind of changes your life.
That actually, you know what, Muldock? That makes a lot of sense. I might end up taking up poetry too if I fought a Dvořák. Well, Muldock, welcome back. It is, as always, wonderful to have you and all of you here. Without further ado, let us begin tonight's adventure. And that adventure is set within the Small Kingdoms. Specifically, a relatively unknown kingdom, even amongst the Small Kingdoms, which are, pretty low-key, pretty unknown. And that is a kingdom called Valovia. And therein, you are attending a chess tournament. And this chess tournament is a grudge match between two brothers. Apparently, the king of Valovia, a man by the name of Horvis Figelstein, recently passed away, and, well, the inheritance of the kingdom was to be determined between his two sons, twin sons specifically, so there was no kind of heir by rights of age. So instead, the king left a decree that the successor of his kingdom would be determined by a chess match, perhaps kind of a heavy-handed statement about how politics is a game. Not entirely certain, but from what you've kind of gathered about it and from what Bartholomew's told you before sending you on this adventure, you have been hired specifically by one Gorvis Figelstein, who is one of the brothers therein. And he has hired you to kind of act as bodyguards for him during the chess tournament and to, well, make sure that everything proceeds at it smoothly. So where our adventure begins, specifically, you find yourself standing within the Figelstein keep. You can see Gorvis is sitting down on kind of a desk and in the middle of kind of doing some writing and taking some notes. At his side is his guard captain. And as you all walk in, the guard captain addresses you. Good afternoon. My name is Captain Finnick. I am the chief protector here for Gorvis Figelstein. Gorvis kind of looks over at you and smiles. Hello there. I understand that you'll be guarding me today. Thank you all for your hard work. Quickly goes back to scribing. So you guys must be the Bartholomew shop adventurers that we have hired, yes?
Yes.
That is wonderful news. We expect that this will be a somewhat troublesome affair. And, well, you've already been briefed to a degree, I believe, by your retainer, I believe his name is Bartholomew, about what you're going to be expected to do here today, but I thought I could just fill you in a little bit more. We need you to watch over Gorvis here. Gorvis Figelstein is, well, an incredible chess player. And if you are not entirely aware, well, his victory in today's chess match will determine the fate of the kingdom. And Gorvis, well, he should be the ruler of the kingdom. So we want you to make sure that Gorvis wins.
Mm.
I see. Is there underhandedness in this, or is this just a fair victory?
Gorvis is by far the superior chess player, as I was saying. He would beat Borvis without any trouble, and, well, he would succeed the kingdom. What we're expecting is a little bit of underhandedness on the side of our, our dear competitor, Borvis. And at this point, Gorvis kind of looks up and says, No, I won't have you speaking ill of my brother. He can be a bit competitive at times, but he just has, well, a strong spirit. I'm sure that he would want only what is best for the kingdom and do right by it. The captain kind of looks at him. My lord, I apologize if I spoke out of line. I'll discuss things with the bodyguards here, and why don't you go ahead and get yourself ready for your chess match? You haven't done your meditation, yet, if I remember correctly. Yes, my lord. Oh, you're right, Captain Finnick. I should go prepare as best I can. I got to make sure my mind's in tip-top shape for today. It should be a riveting match. And he kind of walks out. The captain looks back at you. Oh no, there's definitely going to be some underhanded. There's definitely going to be some underhanded plays here.
Oh, so question: what would happen if Borvis just goes missing?
That is an excellent question. For starters, one thing you should know about Borvis before you go ahead and make any hasty moves. Would you like to join me over here at the window? He
Sure.
walks over the window, and he points. That over there is Borvis Figelstein. He's setting up some of the space right now. And he points out the window, and you can see across. He points at a person who looks almost identical to the Gorvis Figelstein that you just saw. The only thing that seems to be notably different is his manner of dress. Gorvish Figelstein was wearing some kind of, very plain white robes, and, just kind of the clothing of nobility. And it seems that Borvish Figelstein is in a relatively similar shape of attire, but his is like kind of their red robes, and they're also like adorned with like skulls and demonic faces and things like that. And as soon as you look at him, it seems like the sky almost grows dark, and you hear a crack of thunder. And Captain Finnick looks back at you. Borvis Figelstein is unambiguously evil.
I know.
I like this guy already. Why were we hired by your guy again?
Our guy, or your lord in this case, Gorvish Figelstein, will do right by the Empire. I'm sure Borvis Figelstein will hire it out to demons to be sacrificed in a cult, or succumb to corruption and use the money that he overtaxes the people on to purchase, perhaps, new objects and items and golden gems. Not the kind of person that should be a ruler. Yes.
Does he mutter blood for the blood god in his sleep?
I think I've heard it once or twice. Absolutely.
I have a question.
He also kicks puppies, and you look outside, and he's in the middle of what a kind of a puppy walks up to him, and he just immediately, you just hear him kind of go, and the foot rises up, and the puppy, and gets kind of knocked away. Yes.
Are you sure he's not secretly a lich in disguise? The last time I saw someone that looked really similar to someone I knew, but was dressed in red, he turned out to be a really mean skeleton guy.
That's a great question. If he could become a lich, I have no doubt that Borvis Figelstein would take the opportunity. However, at the end of the day, he is just a normal person, so I don't think you have anything to worry about on that front. I expect he'll just be up to some mischief in the chess match, and, well, keeping his mischief in check will be your jobs.
Oh, okay, but what's wrong with what Borvis is doing again? I just want clarification.
You can't see the evil? You can't see just how evil he is? And you look out the window again, and you see, like, there seems to be, like, an orphan that's walking up to him now, holding an empty bowl, and he just takes the bowl out of the orphan's hand and shatters it on the ground, and the Captain Finnick looks back at you. I mean, come on, unambiguously evil.
I see that, and I'm still wondering what's wrong with it.
Well, let's take moral philosophy out of the equation on this one and just say, I've hired you to compete with him, so if you don't make sure that he loses the chess match. And well,
okay, we're gonna compete with him. Got it.
You don't actually have to make sure he loses. You just have to make sure he doesn't distract Gorvis, and Gorvis will undoubtedly crush him at chess. He's a much better chess player.
Got it. So where am I gonna find a puppy, and where am I gonna find an orphan?
Well, he just kicked an orphan, or he just kicked a puppy. Sometimes he kicks orphans too, but he just smashed an orphan's bowl. So you could probably find him over there. You got a few minutes before the chess match begins if you have anything you want to do to get ready.
I think you're going to attempt kicking an orphan and smashing a puppy, aren't you?
Should I not do that?
Oh,
I don't know. I'll leave that up to your discretion and see how it goes for you.
I'm the captain of the guard, and I'll say right now that you probably shouldn't kick a puppy in my sight. He can do it because he's a lord and he pays me, but you, I would probably crack down on.
Okay, fine. I won't do it. No problem.
Please don't mind our friend. He's, a hobgoblin.
So yeah, the chess match should be starting pretty soon. If you have anything you'd like to do to get ready. Also, as just a heads up, I'm pretty sure he's also paid off the referee, so you probably won't get much help in that particular regard.
Okay, let's see. I think I'll go talk to that referee. Maybe change his mind.
All right. And you guys got it's about 10 minutes until the match starts, so you're gonna kind of go off and speak to the referee. What does everyone else want to do in this little time frame?
I'm gonna go speak to that poor orphan and offer them a place at my temple.
All right. Elena's gonna go speak to the orphan. What about Daakar? What about Daakar and Hiori? What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to do the ritual of picking up Daakar and putting him on my shoulder. That's the first thing.
Daakar, you down?
Yes.
All right. You pop Daakar on your shoulders, and then what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna walk over to the puppy and attempt to heal.
All right. So we'll come back to that in a moment. So first, Muldock, I said it right. I was for some reason I always want to say Mudlock, but it's Muldock.
Whoa, it's Muldock with an L.
Yes. Muldock, you want to go over and speak to the referee. You can see that with a couple of discussions and directions, you're able to find him pretty easily. He's wearing some very elaborate garb that seems to be ceremonial with kind of some black and white accents, indicating him as a referee. He's just kind of sitting and waiting for the chess match to begin. As you move out into the courtyard, there's a pretty large number of people that are assembled here, discussing the upcoming chess match. They all seem pretty excited about it, and there is just also a general consensus. Well, Gorvis will probably win. You walk up to the referee. He looks over at you. Yes, how may I help you?
Oh, yeah. So you're the referee guy, right?
That is correct.
Oh, that's awesome. Could you just come over here real quick? I gotta tell you a secret.
You can tell me right here. There's.
Oh, but no, this is really important. It pertains to the match. I think one of the people is cheating.
Oh, if one of the individuals here is cheating, then I'll have to know about that.
I don't want it to be public right now. I want it to be a little bit, between us. Like if they're cheating, it does. Not everybody needs to know. There's still kings here, right?
Completely understandable. Any kind of whispers in, go ahead and whisper it right in my ear. He's sitting down. There's not a lot of people around.
Sure.
I mean, there's people around.
Here's what I gotta whisper in your ear, and I'm gonna whisper.
All right. He is going to make a wisdom saving throw, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
13. Is that going to do it?
Let's see. Meets beats, right?
Yeah. If he meets it, he beats it.
Yeah, he got it.
So what are the words that you would? Do you tell a joke?
Hold on. Wait a second. He would normally get it, right? He would normally get it, right?
I'm not following you.
He would normally get it. Hold on. Yeah, he would get it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Um, so you kind of like go up and whisper this kind of joke in his ear, and as he does, you see him kind of like shudder for a moment, and his body kind of chills, and there's like the slightest of a chuckle out of him, but the spell doesn't seem to take further hold. He looks back at you and goes, "If you're just going to waste my time with jokes, then be on out of here. I have to prepare for the match." And he kind of stands up and begins kind of moving away from you.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
And he at that point, let's move over to Elena. You go over and meet with this orphan. This orphan's kind of carrying a bowl, and you walk up, and they're just kind of like walking away dejected, the two halves of their broken bowl empty and kind of dragging in their hands. What do you want to do, Elena?
Hello, you poor thing. How is your day going?
Oh, hello there. My day's not going very well. I just got my bowl broke by Boris Figglestein.
You poor thing. Elena's gonna pull out a mortar and pestle and remove the pestle and then give the child the mortar.
Oh, a bowl just for me.
Yes, it's all yours. And if
That's-
you or any of your friends want a place to call home, you can come to my temple.
Oh, that's so kind. I don't have a home. Can I bring my bowl?
Of course you can. I advise you to bring your bowl, in fact.
Oh, I will. And then the orphan kind of picks up the bowl and pokes it up to you. Can I try it out now? Do you have any food?
Elena's gonna fish through her pockets and she's gonna pull out a snake, a dead snake in her pocket, and just put it in the bowl.
The orphan kind of looks at it, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know if that's food, but I'm very hungry. I guess I'll try." And he walks away, kind of confused and nervous. And I'll be sure to tell all my friends about your temple.
Thank you, child.
Of course. And right as he's going, he says, "My name is, by the way." And then right as he says that, just kind of like a bird flies by and screeches very loudly, and it kind of gets cut out, so you don't quite make it out. And then he walks off into the distance, and waves, "Thank you again." And next up, I believe Hiori and Daakar were going over and healing the puppy. I mean, there's a puppy there, and you cast. What do you want to cast on it, Hiori?
I mean,
It's limping a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but it's a puppy. I might as well just lay on hands it.
He's
Lay on hands a dog.
just gonna hit it for one. Just gonna hit it for one quick point.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, and it didn't take so much damage that one hit point isn't enough to completely bring it back. You watch as it was kind of limping slightly away, sadly, from Boris Frickelstein, and all of a sudden its leg is healed, and it very happily kind of begins running in circles, appreciative of your healing.
And I'm gonna pet it.
It accepts your pet graciously and happily.
Very good.
It's just kind of like scampering around, kind of following at your heels now, very joyfully. And at this point, the chess match is about to begin. Is there anything that you guys would like to do before we get kind of any further into it?
I'm gonna leave that to the others. Otherwise, I'm just gonna meet up with the goblin, probably.
That would be
Maybe.
really useful if we had some kind of a plan or a strategy to make sure that we could keep an eye on this guy from multiple angles. But
Well,
other than,
you
like,
know.
other
Go on.
than putting ourselves at different points around the match where we can watch closely and pretending that we're also referees, I don't really have any ideas.
Well, I do have a disguise kit. I could definitely disguise myself as someone. Probably that referee if we could get rid.
Okay. In that case, you guys have kind of like met up right now. Are you trying to? You only have like a couple minutes before the match starts at this point. Everyone's kind of getting in position. Most people have filed into their seats. The referee.
But I would need a distraction.
Yeah, I was gonna say the referee's in a fairly conspicuous point at this point. He's kind of standing over in the center of the area, nearby Borvis and Gorvis, who are both kind of sitting on kind of mats on either side of a table, a chessboard that has now been kind of completely set up.
Also, one last important question for you guys. Does anyone actually know how chess works?
Yes, you bang really hard, and then you go ooh ooh ah ah ee ah ooh ooh ooh. If I believe is the proper incantation.
No, that's being a monkey. We're talking about the game, chess. You play on a board.
Oh, we weren't talking about banging on our chests. Oh, never.
Oh no.
And yeah, anyone who like wants to know what chess is, it'll be assumed that you guys like, at least I think probably Elena and Hiori, you guys probably know what chess is. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, you guys are just kind of hanging out there talking, and with that, things are kind of final preparations are being done. Where do you guys want to like situate yourselves as things are about to kick off?
Next to the referee, if possible. I definitely want to set up a worst case.
Okay, cool. You go over and set yourself up next to the referee, which is kind of, you're basically standing next to, you're standing next to Gorvis in this case. You're on kind of Gorvis's side, and the referee is like in the middle of the two of them. And yeah, you hop up there next to him and are just waiting as things get ready. You can see that on Borvis's side, Borvis has a couple of bodyguards that are set up. You're on like kind of the inside of a keep, so there's kind of a walled, you're in like a walled-in courtyard almost, where there's some stands that have been set up where, you know, the public and local nobility seem to be sitting now. And then along the wall, there are also guards that are kind of patrolling up at the top. And yeah, you guys are hanging out. You guys are hanging out there, or you specifically, Muldock, are hanging out there. Where does anyone else want to go?
Elena's gonna go and stand beside Borvis's bodyguards.
All right, yeah. As you start walking up, just as you like are moving closer to Borvis, one of the bodyguards kind of stands in front of you and kind of crosses his arms and begins to block your path. Once you get to about 10 feet from Borvis, not seeming to want you to get any closer, but you're just kind of standing there. He goes, what do you want on Borvis's side? I can take a message to him if you're trying to speak to him.
Oh, I've just been asked to watch over him to make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, well, we're the ones that watch over Borvis, huh? How about you go and, hey, how about you go take a seat somewhere else maybe, huh?
Oh, you know, it's okay. I'm just here to help.
Oh yeah, well, I'm here to help too. And you guys kind of, you know, you guys kind of argue, but you're welcome to stand there. And he doesn't seem to have any power to like push you out. So you're standing there watching over Borvis from the side, but this bodyguard's kind of up in your grill. What about you guys? Daakar, Hiori, do you guys want to be together still, or do you guys want to split up? Where do you guys want to go?
Probably gonna stay together, but I mean, if something goes down, I'm gonna stay a little bit closer to Elena and the bodyguards, but I'm not gonna be like right up there. I'm not gonna be kind of standing behind Elena.
Kind of closer to like the stands, and kind of like maybe like the front row of the stands or something like that, in line with Elena.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you're kind of like sitting in the front row in that particular area watching Daakar, and you're just chilling on Hiori's
I just
shoulders.
like the view from up here.
Excellent. Yeah. There's a person behind you. Excuse me. You're kind of tall. You're kind of tall with the little man on your shoulders. Do you mind if you maybe scooch down a little bit or slouch? Can't really see the chessboard.
Daakar,
Yes.
come on. We want everyone to see this.
You just kind of like duck your head a little bit so it's not quite as in the way.
Yeah, I'll stay low.
All right, and you duck down a little bit. The person says, "Thank you very much. Sorry for the inconvenience. Just want to make sure I see all the chess action I can." And with that, you see things going on in the surrounding area. You can see, walking from the side now, a small child runs out, and they're carrying what looks to be like a beautiful red velvet pillow, and on it is resting a very small and simple silver bell. And as he walks out, you can see a band of musicians begin to take up very big brass horns, and there's kind of a large string section as well. And as this child walks across, they all begin to play, and the crowd falls relatively silent. And as such, the referee kind of reaches over, plucks the bell from the pillow, and says, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor now to begin the grudge match between Borvish Figelstein and Gorvish Figelstein for the succession of the Figelstein Empire. I do now declare this game of chess begun." He picks up the little bell and just it rings, and Borvis and Gorvish both kind of put their hands on their chin and begin focusing, and Gorvis kind of reaches down and takes his first chess piece and moves upon forward 2 spaces, marking the beginning of this chess match. And as such, the game does in fact begin. The sun's kind of beating down hot from overhead, and you guys are now watching the chess match. It's kind of hard to see, and you're not sure like why so many people. I mean, more for the outcome you think than the match, but a lot of people are pretty intent on the small chessboard that is in the center of this courtyard here. As the chess match begins, why don't you all go ahead and make me like a round of perception checks to kind of see what you're picking up as you're just watching in this space. Okay. From your kind of unique viewpoint, where you're sitting, Hiori, you do kind of notice off to your side, sitting in the stands next to you, maybe like 4 or 5 people down, you just kind of see someone who's wearing like a little bit of a robe, and you can hear them kind of like maybe incanting something or speaking something under their breath. They appear to be a mage of some kind, but they're there kind of sitting in the stands, presumably casting some type of spell. You're uncertain what it is. Vivaldi, you're a little bit farther away from it, so you don't quite notice this as much, but you're very, intent, just kind of staring at the chess match and making sure that Borvis is kind of falling in line, and you're noticing that Borvis, he hasn't done anything with it yet, but you see just kind of tucked into his sleeve as he goes and like moves one of his chess pieces, you can see like underneath his sleeve, he just has a chess piece that's like taped to his arm, or in some way like tied by string to his arm. It looks like he just has an extra queen up his sleeve. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't done anything with it yet, but you kind of pick this out. Is there anything that you guys want to do with this information? You guys just going to kind of keep watching?
So he currently is not holding the chess piece, correct?
No, it's kind of like strung, tied up to his arm, like he's going to at some point maybe drop it onto the board. You're not sure what his play is, but he's got one in weight. It's definitely suspicious.
Okay, just being, it's not in his hands.
That is correct.
Okay. So I can see this thing, and I don't know if this will work. So you're gonna have if I just take this thing and I fling it out of his hands.
It's like I was saying. It's not in his hands. It's up his sleeve. Like
fling it from inside his sleeve onto the ground.
I think in this particular instance, and I won't make you cast the spell, but I think this is decidedly worn because it's like tied to his arm, almost like a bracelet.
That's why I was trying to get clarification. Yeah.
So I won't. You don't have to like cast it. I say you just know that it wouldn't work on this particular object. But I like where your head's at.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So I'll say also this, as you're just kind of looking around and taking in your surroundings, Hiori and Muldock, both of you also notice that several of like the guards that are like on the wall, you catch a couple of them, and they have like the Figgelstein crest, and all of them have the Figgelstein crest like somewhere on their uniform. But some of them have a Figgelstein crest that seems to have like just a couple of like red skulls and like bat wings on the back of it, which you immediately interpret, well, this must be the specifically Borvis aligned Figgelstein crest. So you also notice that there's a few guards, two of which are up on the wall, and well, also the guards that are specifically kind of bodyguarding for him have that as well. Yeah, the match continues. Things are kind of proceeding normally thus far, and yeah, the match goes on, and you know there's various oohs and and intense banter from the crowd as they watch. But the vibe that you're getting is that, as predicted, Gorvis does definitely have the upper hand. He has taken a bishop to nothing captured thus far from on Borvis's end, and he has taken an advantage in the match as it proceeds. In that case, you know, the match kind of continues onward, and as it's getting kind of like hot in the midday, the referee kind of dings the little bell again and calls out, "We will now take a brief 5-minute recess for drinks. Please remain seated." And you see now kind of running out the same person who brought out the little bell on a pillow. You see that same child now walks out carrying a little tray with 2 drinks on it. He walks over and begins kind of moving up. And yeah, he's got 2 goblets, and he gets ready to go and kind of hand them over to Gorvis and Borvis, respectively. Anything anyone want to do as this is happening?
Hiori, I think we should maybe test that drink. You know, poisoning a goblet, one of the oldest tricks in the book, so I've heard.
What are the chances it's going to be poisoned? But
Skulls and bat wings and blood red rose. What do you think the chances are that there's going to be poison?
Listen, these 2 are playing a chess match. If they're at equal intelligence, even though Gorvis is destroying the other one, I think they'd be a little bit more inclined to take a more, what's the word, tactile approach than just poisoning someone's drink. But
as Hiori is saying this,
red rolls.
As Hiori is saying this, the drinks arrive, and Muldock and Elena, from your views closer to the table, you look down at the drinks. They both have name labels on them. There's one that is named for Gorvis and one for Borvis. The one that's named for Gorvis, it appears to be kind of green and bubbling a little bit, and there's some kind of like vile-looking smoke coming out of it. The one that's there for Borvis, it appears to be wine.
Oh, this is definitely not being worn or carried, right?
That is definitely true. You see
so
Gorvis. You see Gorvis go. Yeah, Gorvis goes to reach for his wine, and you sneeze extremely loudly,
yes.
catapulting that one away.
Yeah.
The wine goblet flies through the air and tumbles down and away. You see the poison goblet bounces along the ground a few times, and like you watch as it like the liquid hits the ground. You see like trails of green smoke seem to like come out and like burn through the grass a little bit as the goblet goes away, and you see Borvis just look down in kind of disappointment, and he kind of takes his wine off the glass. I'm sorry, Borvis looks in disappointment.
Fuego, 1 gold each. Fuego for everyone. Everyone, fuego. And I just pull out just a ton of fuego out of my robes out of nowhere. Just
is fuego a drink?
It is. It's my drink.
Gorvis kind of looks really sad as the wine's disappeared. Oh no, sometimes it's just so helpful to have a delicious beverage with me while I'm trying to concentrate on a good rousing game of chess. What a disappointment.
Care for some fuego? Here you go, friend.
Oh, this seems... Is it alcohol? What does fuego look like?
Fuego is just like a soda type beverage. Comes in glass. It's very nice.
Is this alcoholic? I don't drink alcohol.
No, there's no alcohol. I promise. It's just delicious berries and well, hot peppers. You know, nothing insane about it.
Wait. Did you just say you don't drink alcohol, but you drink one? Hold on.
Oh, mine
Something's
was.
wrong here.
He looks kind of, or I guess you don't say that to him because you're not up next to him. But if you want to ask them that, you're welcome to.
I will ask that. That is a relevant question.
He goes up to him. He goes, "Oh no, my drink wasn't alcohol. I always get a glass full of raw eggs. It helps the protein. Is very good for the brain. Helps to think."
Well, fuego will help you think too. The hot peppers really intensify your brain activity.
Yes,
And
this
it's
sounds
delicious.
interesting. It might be dangerous for me to experiment here on the most important chess match of my life, but I'll go for it. And he drinks the fuego, and you see his face turn a little bit red with the hot peppers. He goes, "Woo! That is spicy, but refreshing. I feel awake. Would you like to try some, Borvis?" And Borvis is over there just kind of like angrily gritting his teeth. Just, "No, I am fine, brother. Let's the game continue."
All right.
And
Right, Daakar. Looks like looks like I'm 0 for 1.
As you're seeing that, the game kind of, it continues on for another stretch. Gorvis is continuing to kind of make leaps and bounds ahead. You see that at this point, Borvis's queen has been captured. And things are proceeding steadily. But Hiori and Daakar, I imagine Daakar at this point, you've been informed by Hiori of the kind of suspicious-looking figure ahead of you. You see that suspicious-looking figure begin to stand. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
I'm going to take the clasp off of my axe, which will then release it from my back.
Okay, you take the clasp off of it, and you kind of grab it, swing it around in front of you. You're now wielding your axe.
That's all I'm going to do right now, besides stare at him intently.
And this mage at this point kind of holds his hands out, and you watch as all of a sudden an incredible gust of wind curls up and licks through the area. It's not enough to knock you off your feet like many gust of wind spells that you've seen, but you see it kind of like a lot of the spectators in the stands, their eyes kind of avert. You see Gorvis and the referee, and even a lot of the guards in the area, all of them kind of whoa! They lift their heads up, and everyone's kind of looking away in the table, and you see Borvish Figglestein. He kind of reaches into his sleeve, and that queen kind of pops out, and he goes to put it down on the table with his other hand. He seems to be trying to move a couple pieces on the boards quickly while everyone's distracted.
Elena is gonna have been watching and she's gonna summon an unseen servant and try and pry the queen whenever he changes something, she's gonna have the unseen servant change it back.
Just move it back.
Yeah.
Excellent. The wind's kind of cursing through the area right now, and as soon as the wind spell happens, you watch as that kind of mage lets the wind spell go, and then just begins running out and away, kind of whoop 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 out of the space.
So while this is going on, sorry.
Let me get one thing. Actually, you know what? Go first, Muldock. What are you doing?
So while this is going on, is nobody looking at the referee?
The referee is kind of looking away with most of the rest of the people. Yeah, so there's not a lot of focus. Everyone's just kind of trying to duck their head away from this fierce wind.
Excellent, fantastic. Okay, that is gonna be super awesome because I like to make this referee maybe take a nap. Here you go. Targeting it in such a way so it's not hitting me or the players, but kind of mainly just the referee.
Okay. No problem. The referee kind of slumps down to the ground, seemingly knocked over by the wind. It almost looks like as you casted the sleep spell in the area. Yeah, no problem. Instantly down.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna throw him because I don't really have a lot of time to just hide him anywhere. So I'm gonna just knock him over and hide him behind the chair, and then just disguise myself as the referee.
Do you have disguised self?
I do have disguise.
Okay, so I was gonna say, if you were going to like try and use your disguise kit, maybe not, but disguise self you can pull off. Yes, so you pull him behind, and you become the referee for a brief moment, until he wakes up. The wind whips back. The wind whips back away, and so while you're doing that, Elena, your unseen servant appears, and you watch Borvis go and push the first piece, and your unseen servant immediately just moves it back, and you see Borvis just go, "What? What in the?" He pushes it again, it moves back, pushes it again, moves back. I need you to make me an Arcana check. Or I'll let you make a spellcasting ability check, or like a sleight of hand, whatever you want to make, basically. Whatever you want to justify for your skill check for how well you're able to kind of combat Borvis's piece placement in this instance of confusion. Okay, yeah, it is no problem. Every single thing he does, you completely negate, and then as soon as he places the queen down on the board, the unseen servant just picks it up and just whoop, tosses it over its proverbial shoulder and just like into the grass far away. As the wind kind of dies down, and everyone kind of puts their head down. Daakar and Hiori, are you guys doing anything, or because I know you had your axe out and this kind of mage character starting to run away?
How fast is this mage running away? Let's see. How far can he get if I throw Daakar at him?
Answer is kind of regular human speed. You could absolutely throw Daakar.
Guitar. He's now an instrument.
Yeah, you can throw a guitar at him. You can throw Daakar at him, no problem. Are
you okay with this?
It's showtime.
Go ahead and make a strength check for the quality of your throw. I'll let you make a proficient attack roll, basically, with Daakar.
All right. Launch Kobold.
Yep, no problem. You hit. And Daakar, you go flying through the air.
Thrown. I would like to conjure my blade.
Oh God. Are you like making an attack when you arrive? Or are you trying to like grab on and grapple, or what's your plan in that regard?
I just want to have the blade ready whenever I land on them. Not going to strike yet.
All right, yeah. You kind of like crash down, kind of like onto his shoulders, and the person there is just kind of starts looking around. What are you doing? Get off of me, small thing!
Draconic fury.
I'm going to give you advantage because this is righteous.
I will,
This sounded like an attack, is that fair to say?
I really just want to scare him.
Oh, okay. Are you trying to make an intimidation check?
Yes.
Alright, go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage. I think that's a pretty fair help action. But you got advantage. Hey, 9. And he looks back at you, and as you kind of say, Draconic Fury, you land on him, and he's definitely, like, confused and doesn't like having you on him, but he definitely doesn't look scared. As he continues to kind of shuffle out of the area, you now kind of clinging to him as he moves away, and... Get off of me, Kobold! I don't want your Kobold! Stop it! And he's kind of trying to throw you off as he moves out of the space. He's going to make a shove action, essentially, against you. Go ahead and roll me a contested athletics check. He is not very good at this. I assume you're also probably not very good at this.
Can I do acrobatics instead, or does it have to be
Yep, you can make acrobatics to resist. He's rolling athletics to try and shove you off, though. You're good! You're hanging on to him as he's moving out of the space. And Elena, you have successfully stopped all the shenanigans. And Muldock, as it comes back, you're disguising yourself as the referee?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Was one of those a second level spell slot that you used, by the way?
Yes, it was.
So you're down to like 1 second level spell now, right?
Right. Well, I used two spells. So I used 4 spells in total. I've done a catapult, I've done one catapult.
Catapult, disguise self, sleep, and Tasha's. Okay, yeah, so you got two. You have 2 twos left. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was just checking. So, because I know you've been letting them fly today.
Yes, I have. But I've been trying to get this thing to to perfect.
Yeah, so in that moment, you have him asleep. You kind of dragged him under the table in like the one kind of spot that wasn't out of people's vision while no one was looking. And now you are disguised as the referee standing at the table. You know that you have a minute before the real referee wakes back up. But you have a minute. What do you want to do right now that the things kind of settled down and the board state is clear? There's no kind of changes to it. You see Gorvis look over. What a terrible gust of wind that was. I wasn't expecting any inclement weather today. Are you all right, Borvis? And Borvis kind of, again, through gritted teeth, just goes, fine, brother.
I'm gonna just go back to my my special, place that I'm supposed to stand or whatever and be nice and good. Oh, wait, actually, while he's asleep, there's this thing that I kind of gotta do while he's sleeping. I hope he doesn't mind. I don't want him, but we're gonna just, I have to do it, so I hope this will hurt, maybe a little bit. Hatchet 1, Hatchet 2.
Oh, Jesus. Who are you attacking?
The unconscious guy.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. There's no way you can attack him without, it being in public view.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, he was just standing in the middle of the area. They were, away for a little bit, but...
No, never mind. Not attacking.
Okay, all right, you got a couple seconds until he wakes up. He's under the table or...
And the winner is Gorvis! That's it!
You just call out, and the winner is Gorvis?
Yeah.
And Gorvis just kind of looks up, and he looks confused at you. I haven't won yet. There's still much match to play.
Well,
I haven't even
we have reason to believe that Borvis is cheating. So Gorvis is the
Oh! And he kind of leans back. Have you been cheating, Borvis? And Borvis kind of... Of course not. You would accuse me, your lord, of cheating, Willis?
What about that?
And he looks over at you.
And then I'm going to point to his sleeve. Yeah, show me your sleeves then if you're not cheating.
And he kind of pulls back his sleeve, and he pulls it back, and there's nothing there, as that piece was administered during the gust of wind and got knocked away by Elena. Of course there's nothing up my sleeve. This is preposterous. This ref has obviously been paid off by Gorvis.
Hold on. Then let us count the pieces that have fallen to the floor.
All right, yeah, you begin kind of counting the pieces, and Gorvis kind of goes, now, Borvis, if you've been cheating, you just should accept your disqualification token. For some reason, my father wrote into the rules, and he kind of turns to the rest of you guys, that, well, if anyone were to cheat, they would receive a disqualification token. And there's now just, a small token that he produces from a little bag of them and puts it over on Borvis's side. It allows me to remove one piece from his board in order to make up the difference of whatever he was doing to cheat. So how about we just do that and call it a day, huh?
Well, I mean, if you want to keep going even though he's cheating.
Yes, my father always thought Borvis would cheat. I didn't expect it myself. And he goes, perhaps, not the king, obviously, that would be unfair. And he kind of is looking over, is perusing the pieces on the board. Maybe I'll take a rook. And he takes one of the rooks off, and you've earned him another point towards victory with this disqualification token you have bestowed in this particular instance.
And then we also, once we count the pieces, we see that there's 2 queens, right? That is.
Oh yeah, you go through and count up the pieces, and you find the second queen. And as you kind of find the second queen, the original ref wakes up and is kind of stands up from under the table. The crowd gasps in shock, and the original ref looks over at you and just goes, "Imposter!"
No, you're the imposter!
And as this happens, Borvis and things kind of descend into bedlam. Borvis just looks up to a couple of the guards. All of you that are watching kind of see this, points at the guards, and then points at Gorvis, and then just rings a finger along his neck, and those two guards kind of produce. One of them kind of pulls out from their side a couple of daggers, and another one pulls out a bow and begin to aim them over in the direction of Gorvis. Yes.
As Elena watches this, she's gonna send a telepathic message to Gorvis to run.
All right, go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Gorvis is very dense. Oh no! You tell him. You kind of send him telepathically, run, and does he have the ability to respond? What feature are you using to do this? Is it like message?
Awakened Mind.
Oh, Awakened Mind. I can't remember. I'm going to assume that the answer is yes. And so
It says that I'm able to communicate telepathically with creatures,
Yes.
so I assume that
So I
they
think
can
you're
talk
good.
back.
Yeah, Gorvis immediately responds. Silly, I don't know who's speaking in my mind, but I can't run. I'm in the middle of a very important chess match. And I'd like you all to roll for initiative. Daakar, you're halfway out the stadium now with riding on the back of a wizard. Everyone is all over the place.
Of course, no problem. I always win on initiative. I'm the
Except when Daakar wins on initiative through
Uh,
tiebreaker.
I'm going to roll for my... the foes. We'll just roll them all collectively. Oh, they all have a +1, actually, so that's...
so you
19.
have more than a 5.16? Interesting. I didn't know you had more than 5.
In that case, that is going to bring us to the first initiative, which, yeah, I think in this case, it is Muldock, because Muldock has the higher dex base.
Rip.
Well, no, it's not actually my dex.
Well, I know
I
you
have
have
a
that,
bonus from tactical wit.
Yeah,
So-
you have the intelligence bonus. So yes, Muldock, you're the first to act. The fake referee is called out imposter. Everyone stares at you. Guards kind of are moving into action as they attack. The chess match continues. Everyone is engrossed.
But did they point the bows at Gorvis? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
they look like they're just trying to kill Gorvis straight up.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna run in front of the bows, and prepare. Yeah.
Be a human shield.
Well, yes, and also have a literal shield spell ready to not
Deflect.
have him. Exactly. And,
Excellent.
and I mean, I could cast a spell right now because shield is a reaction, so I could do that. So I kind of will. I'm probably just gonna, seeing that these people are right there, the guards are. I'm gonna try to hit these guards with a Carney Scorcher.
Are you firing the guards that are on the wall that are about to attack, or the ones that are next to Borvis? Which ones?
Are there ones that are 30 feet away? Because it's a 30-foot long cone, so I'm trying, or 30-foot long line, so I'm trying to hit as many guards. And I don't really want to hit normal people, but if I have to,
from where you are, basically, you could hit any one.
Well, are any of them in a line?
You could get them in a line, but you'd have to move away from being a human shield for.
No.
Then
I'm gonna go with the ones that are in the area above the area, the ones that are pointing down towards Gorvis, because if that's the ones that are.
Okay, yeah. In that case, you fire up at one of the ones with the bow. They're gonna make a dexterity saving throw. They got a +1 to this. And that's still gonna fail. They take 11 points of fire damage. It's not enough to bring them down outright, but you see immediately they begin to burn, and you can see just their eyes seem to be glowing a terrible red, the same red of Borvis's robes, as they're kind of like reeling back and they're kind of burning up. That's going to move us now onto Hiori. What do you like to do? You've just thrown Daakar. The whole area is becoming in chaos. The audience is engrossed upon this chess match, which continues. What do you want to do?
So that really big bodyguard that was next to Elena, that was kind of stancing her off. That guy's still around, right?
Yeah, he's still stancing off Elena. He doesn't actually seem to be in on this kill Gorvis thing, but he's still hanging. Well, at least not directly at the moment.
Okay. Well, all right. Since that's not the case, I'm just gonna cast Bless.
Who are you gonna bless?
Let's see. I'm going to bless Elena. I'm just gonna bless my the rest of my party.
Everyone but you?
Yes.
That's the Paladin way. All right, everyone, you now have a plus 1d4 to attacks and saving throws.
Ooh,
Excellent.
attacks and saving throws. Awesome. Is it checks as well or no?
Not checks, just those two.
Okay, cool.
Anything else on your turn, Hiori?
I would like to, since that was an action, I'd like to run towards that wizard.
All right.
It's kind of running with the car. I'm not going to entirely exit the area, but I'm going to run at that wizard and.
Yeah, you can get right up next to him. The stands aren't super long. It's not like a huge area that you're in. So yeah, you're right up next to him. You're still inside of the area.
I figure I still have a bonus. I can make a check as a bonus action, yes?
Technically no, but what do you want to do?
I wanted to very, very calmly whisper into the wizard's ear, "Don't fuck with my kobold."
I mean, you definitely at least say that as you whisper into the wizard's ear, and he just kind of looks back at you confused. Then go ahead and take him back. I don't want it. And he kind of leans to the side and is trying to like push the kobold off on you. And he looks angry and unhappy. And that's going to be all for your turn, I assume, as we move now in initiative to the foes. You see two, you're completely blocking the way, so both of these attacks are coming at you, Muldock. There's going to be a longbow shot at you. That's a 14 to hit.
Oh, well, that would normally hit. It would normally hit, and that would be terrible if it did. But lucky for me, I have this cool
shield.
thing. Well, I do have shields. That is something I can do, and that is what I will. Shield, sir, for the 2nd level spell slot.
Okay, you throw up your shield in front. The arrow slinks harmlessly off. Both of those next ones are only +5. Does a 13, so an 18 hit with your shield on?
An 18 with my shield would actually... An 18 would miss.
Oh, still misses. Nice. And you watch as the other one kind of takes 2 daggers out of their inventory and throw them down into your space. And all of these attacks glance harmlessly off of your force field. The archer gets ready and knocks another arrow, and the kind of more roguish-looking figure jumps down off of the wall and kind of dives into a tumble and begins running over in your direction, Muldock, looking like he's just going to try, pulls out 2 more daggers. Looks like he's just going to try and finish off Gorvis directly, one-on-one. The mage, who's still kind of whipping around and trying to get you off of his shoulders, even more infuriated with each passing moment, is going to once more try and make a shove action to try and throw you off. That's a d20 plus, that's going to be a d20, oh, -2. That's against you, Daakar.
No.
Daakar, he goes and like grabs onto you, and you're basically tap dancing on his shoulders as each hand that goes to reach for you and push you away, you just completely elude. You have this guy dead to rights. As he infuriatingly, he's also going to step away from you as he tries to run away. Hiori, he's stepping away, provoking an opportunity attack if you're interested in such a thing.
I do not have a shield in my hands, so I'm going to 2-hand my axe.
All right, please do. 10 would hit. He's not... Oh, no, I'm sorry, he has an 11. Actually, that misses.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Just barely. You go to, like, catch down, it kind of catches his robe and kind of tears a little bit of the side of it, but he's all right. And he kind of continues to run away. He moves another little chunk, and he's actually going to dash, but he's moving at half speed because you're kind of slowing him down a little bit there. Oh wait, no, he used his action to try and push you. So never mind. That's right. He's just running away a little bit, slow pace, and that's gonna move us next to, I believe it is. Oh wait, it should have been. I got confused. I thought it was. I mixed up your turns, Daakar and Hiori. I'll switch it back the correct way next time. As we move now on to Elena. Elena, what would you like to do?
The person with the bow is up on the wall, right?
That is correct.
I'm gonna use. Elena is gonna use Dissonant Whispers on
Oh.
the
Oh
person
no.
with the.
They have a +1 to this, but that's not a ton. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. The bowed figure. And I believe you already, a fireball was already sent at this particular bowed figure.
It's not a fireball. It was
Or
actually
an Agonazar Scorcher.
Yeah, well, no, it was a Carney Scorcher. Get it correct?
Yes, the Carney Scorcher, of course. So yeah, he takes this Wisdom saving throw, and you watch as he just kind of all of a sudden he drops the bow on the ground, brings his hands to his head, and just and turns around and just runs off the wall, and then you just hear a thud, and then nothing, as he has been taken down by your Dissonant Whispers. You look at Borvis, who kind of looks up at you in like a little bit of fear, but then his attention is immediately snapped back to the chessboard in front of him as another chess piece is placed down and moved onto the board, which it seems to be reaching its end stages of the chess match. And that is going to, in that case, bring us back around to the top of the initiative. Muldock.
Okay, so there's this guy. He's running in, right?
Yep, there's an assassin running in.
Okay, he's running in. Is he within melee range?
No, you'd have to step out a little bit away from Gorvis to put him in melee range. He's kind of like circling around to try and get an angle on Gorvis, it looks like.
So I could move a little bit.
But you could move a little bit to get with him. You'd have to step away directly from Gorvis, but there's no bow anymore, so.
Okay, so I could do that safely and not have him get shot in the face.
In theory, yes.
In theory, that was the biggest point. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go up to this guy, who's now gonna be well. First, no, yeah, I'm gonna try to get him in melee range, and we're gonna do a cool thing, and I'm just gonna reach my hand out and just give him a nice joy buzzer to the face.
18 is absolutely going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Okay, great. He takes 1 lightning damage.
He's also unable to take reactions. As you reach out and kind of shock him, just the assassin looks hurt, but not down, and he still has his gaze fixated past you and onto well, Gorvish Figglestein. Anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
Oh, well, I have my one blade ready in case he runs past me. But other than...
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us now to Daakar. Initiative now fixed correctly. Daakar, what do you wish to do?
Well, I get this feeling, based on what I'm hearing over in the distance, that we don't have time to keep chasing this guy down anymore. So I'm going to just shiv him with a booming blade.
Oh no! Oh no! All right. You're gonna go ahead and make an attack against him. Yep. He's been stabbed. Roll damage. He goes, "No! Get the creature off of me!" And he's very upset and unhappy. Could not.
I would like to make a note that Daakar's first turn was skipped after he made his acrobatics track.
This is true.
Yeah, I fixed it this time.
No, he was just straight up skipped.
No, he did it.
I didn't do anything actually.
Oh my God, Daakar, I'm so sorry. Please take 2. This was your last turn. You booming bladed him and set it up last turn, and now it's your turn.
Well, I felt bad about having booming bladed him last turn because if he ran, then it happens. And
well, yeah, it'll happen. We're gonna resolve it next time he moves.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna hop off and go to Hiori. There's a prince that needs rescued.
You do a shoulder transfer, jumping from his shoulders to Hiori's, yeah. Anything else you want to do? Ready in action to when you get close, or are you just gonna fire something away now?
There's a rogue here, that probably bad.
I'm going to Armor of Shadows to get my AC up, and I'm good to go.
All right. In that case, that's going to bring us to foe turn. Go ahead and roll damage on that booming blade. You hear behind you, finally, I can get out of here. And then he takes one step, and then he just kind of explodes and slunks down to the ground with a credible clap of thunder. The assassin is going to move up and make 2 attacks against Gorvis.
If he is moving, then that would be...
He provokes an opportunity attack from you.
Awesome. Here you go, friend. Let's just... my hatchet is my axe is my buddy.
That is absolutely going to hit. Roll damage on it.
And when I pull him back, me and your axe will leave your head a new butt crack. Done.
It hits, but it's not enough to bring him down, and the axe spins and falls upon... I'm sorry, not the axe. The dagger spins and falls upon Gorvis, and then... Does he hit with a second? He hits with the second for sure. 2 kind of daggers, and Gorvis, who is not the steadiest of individuals, will roll... That's going to be 2d4 plus 3. Takes 7 points of damage. Gorvis falls down to the ground and is bleeding out. And yeah, the assassin is coming very close. Gorvis just kind of lets out a cry of, I was about... and then kind of falls. And Borvis is now looking at the ref, who the real ref is now kind of like looking around confused, not knowing what to do. And he just looks over the ref and goes, call the match now! And the ref begins to act.
He was already disqualified. You can't call the match.
And that's going to bring us next in initiative to Hiori. What would you like to do?
All right. I'm gonna run up to the stage, right? And then I'm gonna shoot daggers, as in staring at Borvis, and I'm going to use lay on hands on Gorvis.
Okay, you run up and kind of lay on hands Gorvis, who immediately, oh God, what was that? Something interrupted our chess match. And he's looking straight at, completely oblivious to like the green-eyed, glowing like assassin that's standing right over him with 2 daggers dripping blood. And he kind of like sits himself up and re-engages in the match at hand. Is there anything else that you're gonna do on your turn, Hiori?
Let me check what I can do. Yes. I'm going to use, if I can see this, hello. I'm going to use Vow of Enmity on this assassin.
All right, you've spoken your Vow of Enmity. You have advantage on any subsequent attack rolls. This is the last foe before you. That moves us to Elena. Elena, what would you like to do? There's just this one assassin remains as the chess match nears its completion.
Elena is going to send off an Eldritch Blast.
Fire away. Oh my God, roll damage!
Jesus!
18 points of force damage. All right. Would you care to describe your killing blow on this individual?
Elena's just going to stare at Borvis while she does it.
All right, yeah, you look Borvis dead in the eyes, and the Eldritch Blast just fires out, and right as the Eldritch Blast releases from your hand, you just hear a sharp rap on the chestboard as Gorvis kind of calls out, "Checkmate!" And then the Eldritch Blast flies, striking into the assassin, sending him careening backwards, tumbling onto the ground, completely slain by this powerful, powerful strike. And as he kind of calls out chessmate and this assassin go down, there is an eruption of applause from the crowd. Borvis Figglestein kind of reaches into his robe and just takes a bunch of like miscellaneous daggers and other like trick chess pieces he seemed to have tucked away deeper into his robe and just starts throwing them down angrily. And yeah, the whole kingdom seems to rejoice that the neutral good king won instead of the neutral evil one. As the stadium erupts, Captain Finnick kind of runs out to you guys. You did a great job. You won as we expected, but well, there was perhaps even more mischief than we initially anticipated. Great job, all of you.
Awesome, and you did a terrible job by not protecting your king. Good job for you.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
that's a pretty first. Well, I hired you guys, and you guys protected him. So in a way, I did kind of protect the king, didn't I?
No, you didn't. It
Is
was all
there
me.
a single drop of blood in your hands?
My hands?
Yes.
No.
Yes. No? Well, my hands are very, very bloody with your now present king's blood.
Thank you very
Hey,
much for
King,
saving him.
King, may I suggest the first thing that you should do is get rid of this guy. He's terrible. Hire me full time. I'll protect you forever.
I think if we hurry, we can get that mage guy up and get him to confess to being hired by this creep.
Oh,
The mage guy that's a steaming pile of gore over there on the ground?
yeah, that guy.
Did I do not much to him?
And you
Yeah.
look, and you look back, and he is a crumpled heap on the ground. And with that, you all have successfully completed this chess adventure. Gorvis and Finnick, thank you profusely for your help. Gorvis not fully understanding why he was supposed to be because he was oblivious to what was happening, but Finnick showing you your proper respect. And each of you earns 100 Bartholomew bucks, 1 point of experience. Congratulations on completing our first goofy adventure of the evening.
Yay!
And
Huzzah!
yeah, that's gonna do it for Adventure 1.